going back to the whole idea of Monster Hunter-like games that have come out, another one that was on, or that was on the mobile consoles is a game called Soul Sacrifice, and I believe that was created by Concept. This is Keiji Inafune of Mighty Number 9 Infamy. His company, I believe, did Soul Sacrifice. And that game was also very interesting in that you're taking quests to fight monsters, sometimes large monsters, but instead of getting gear and weapons specifically, that game was all around customizing abilities and gathering souls, from what I remember. I played a good portion of it, but I don't think I ever fully completed the game. It was definitely a different take, environment-wise and mechanic-wise, but it followed the same concept of using gameplay and player ability to take out targets. And I believe that one started on the PSP, like I mentioned. Another game that was sort of a one-off hunting game that I want to say it was on Vita. Again, it's been many years since I played a lot of these, so I may be mistaken on what was on what console. But another one that was interesting was a game called Freedom Wars, which I never really understood why they didn't make any more versions of that I know of, because as far as I could tell, it was a successful game. It was pretty good. That game was a bit more on the anime-focused side with its characters and story, but that was in a far-off futuristic setting, and you're fighting these giant sort of robot-type creatures, and there's different weapon types that you use, and there's a grappling mechanic where you could grapple onto these giant creatures to damage them and bring them down. It had multiplayer capability and everything else. Freedom Wars was cool. I'd be interested to see them resurrect that brand at some point. I did play all the way through that game, and I think I completed the story mode. I'm trying to think if I've played any other quote-unquote true Monster Hunter-like type games. Those are the ones that came to mind initially. One that's out now that sort of was considered a direct competitor to Monster Hunter was Dauntless, which was being developed by a different company whose name escapes me at the moment, but that whole game was set up to be very similar to Monster Hunter, and I believe was promoted for PC first, but then Monster Hunter World came out and completely obliterated the chance of Dauntless sort of overtaking the mantle as far as the genre standard for monster hunting games. I think they also went into exclusivity with the Epic Store. I think that was Dauntless. If that was the case, I know whole idea of limiting a game's release to a specific platform tends to divide your fan base, and most people don't take too kindly to having subscribed to a specific service or whatnot just to play a game. Borderlands 3 was a more relevant example of that. I probably would have been more inclined to pick it up if it wasn't exclusively locked to the Epic platform. I'll most likely dabble around with Borderlands 3 when it comes out everywhere else after that exclusivity deal is up. At our progress so far, we're more than halfway on getting all of our mushrooms. I need to make my way towards more of the rare ones. Looking at my map, I've got 2 markers up here. It's either up this way or directly below where I'm headed. Yeah, I think it's below. I guess I can always just consult the map and see. These are nitro shrooms. This was on the left side when I was going up. These were down here. Looks like there might be a unique mushroom colony in here. It's for some reason it's locking onto the spider web. Let's see, how do I zoom? There we go. Yeah, there's one here. Let's see, I could set my flies. Have them lead me there. Going to wrap around towards the lower section of the forest. Aha. Okay. A couple more nodes and we should be done here. Let's see if we can go back to these outer ones. Hopefully they've respawned by now. I think I need Mocholite for my sword upgrade. I want to not ignore any mining nodes where I'm going, wherever I'm going on these maps, since I'm still trying to gather bits to craft more bits. Let's see. This is where I came. I swung through here earlier. Let's see. Oh no, they respawned. Okay, I should be able to finish up here. Yep. Alright, that's good. Some of these gathering quests can get a little tedious. But it'll be worth it for upgrading the meals that we get in the canteen with our buddy, the Meowscular Chef. Mandragora. We're gonna need Mandragoras to craft max potions, which those will come into play as we proceed into the more difficult parts of the game. Oh, they need to drop back into camp, but we'll go look at another canteen quest. Pain from gains. 7 Gajao, which are the fish things in the Wild Spire Waste. We'll go ahead and do that one. They all spawn in basically a couple set areas there, so it should be relatively quick. If we head straight through the rocky area here to the marshlands where we fight Juratotis, that is where the Gajao all spawn. Hopefully I can wipe them all out in one shot and not have to spend too much time wandering around for more. It does seem like the choppiness from the game seems to have tapered off a bit. It's running a bit more stable now. I'm not quite sure why it was doing that before, but that's fine. I should have offloaded my null berries so I can gather more out in the field here. The Gajao are pretty easy. They're not too tough. They're more of a nuisance than anything else. The wide sweeping strokes from the Great Sword are good for clocking a whole bunch of them in a group. And if I ever need to make Juratotis gear, I do need bits from these things, so it's good that I'm taking them out here. Oh, there's a bunch here, yeah. One more? One more. There you go. Now we'll return to camp and see if there's any other relatively short quests that we can do for the canteen. Saves us the trouble of porting all the way back to Astera just to reset the quest list and go back out on another quest. Doing these quests will also allow us to cycle the farm and cause it to keep producing more things that we can collect. Before I go back and farm Legiana for its chess piece, I want to accumulate a larger stash of flash pods. Yep. Oh, more Macalite. I do need more of that. Gajao liver was added to the canteen list.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Alright. Exterminator of the Wastes. Vespoids. We'll do this one. This is exterminating bugs in this exact same locale. And it should just reload me into the area since I was already here. Now for Vespoids, if we grab some rocks, we should be able to just pelt them with rocks, and hopefully we can get some carbs off of them too. I know Vespoid bits are used in some gear, rather than just explode them everywhere. We can try and get some additional things from them. That'll help a little bit. It's a cactar, which is from the Final Fantasy crossover. I wonder if I can capture it.
Whoa.
Yep. I know if you sneak up on them and don't successfully cap them, then they will start shooting needles everywhere, and they can kill you if you're not careful. That's pretty neat. I'll put that guy in my room. Now we got Vespoids. The name of the game here will just be pelting them with slinger ammo until we've killed 14 of them. They can also paralyze, which tends to be one of their most annoying traits, because they will butt into fights and they will paralyze you when you do not want that to happen. The Vespoids have existed since the dawn of Monster Hunter, and they've been annoying since the dawn of Monster Hunter. I remember in Freedom Unite on the PSP, there was a queen version of the Vespoids that was actually a monster that you fight. A big version you fight on one of the maps. And I remember being kind of a tough customer. I think it'd be neat if the Capcom devs for maybe Monster Hunter World 2 or whatever it is they end up doing next, bringing back some more of the bug type monsters. There's some really neat ones that they've introduced in the past that'd be pretty fun to fight with next gen engine capabilities. So far we're up to 8 bugs. I don't know if this tree here spawns them infinitely, but we'll keep pelting them while we can. Just try and kill as many as possible. $11. $12. 2 more. Is that it? Alright. Let's see if there's any on the map. Gajau over there. Apsaros over there. Kestodon. Nothing below. Actually, what's that in the corner? Mosswine. Murnos. Huh, wonder where else spawns Vespoids normally. Guess we'll have to go and loop around and see. I was really hoping I'd just get all the ones that spawn there, but it must be finite. We can head towards the caves. Can't remember if any of them spawn in here. But I guess while we're going through these lower sections, we can also try and find the campsites to set up. I know there's one in here somewhere.